Ah, so being a failed writer, when a series, let's say you like drama. Um, I mean, there are some pretty serious soap opera addicts, and that's nothing compared to like All My Children, 1982. You know what I mean? Really? Okay. uh, the subject matter there was just life. Um, Star Trek. The subject matter was exploration and the unexpected. It wasn't that um, science fiction became boring. Um, Star Trek could have had many more seasons. Okay, but it's Lost in Space. Now, when that show started out, it was pretty intense. That was adult content, man. Okay, and then towards series three, you had talking carrots. Now, that has nothing to do with science fiction. That has to do with the writers and the producers. Okay? The guy who wrote the first couple of shows for Lost in Space, that was some serious sci fi. And it was dark. And then by the end of Lost in Space, it was so comically bad. Okay? Comically bad, right? Like a space cowboy would show up in a silver suit with a silver cowboy hat, talking with an Oklahoma accent that just happened to, you know what I mean? It was just insane. Really talking carrots and okay. That has nothing to do with the subject matter that the first show was about. Star Trek, kind of the same route, I would say, but it took them longer to get out there onto the limb. But then there was a much deeper, broader, pool of water to pull ideas from when you're talking about, the universe. Comic books. So, man, my buddy's brother had the most awesome collection of comic books, and we used to read them all, and he fucking hated it because he wanted them pristine. You know what I mean? And he had like two solid dressers, 4.5 foot tall dressers, and the drawers were full from top to bottom. Original, like number six, number seven Supermans and shit. Really just early shit. Really enjoyed it. That was sci fi fantasy. To this day, they're still doing comic books on sci fi fantasy, but it's not failing. Okay? Lost in Space failed because they lost their way. The creative juices went to the fucking far side. Instead of becoming darker and more in depth and more real, no, we need this crazy talking carrot, ray gun kind. We need this operatic fucking nightmare that they created because they thought it was good. Now, the directors, the studios, they hire those writers that are going to do what they want them to do, not creativity, not free creativity, right? Otherwise, like paintings, you can tell that a person did this paint, like Hemingway, you know what I mean? You read Hemingway, you know it's fucking Hemingway. You see a Rembrandt, you know it's a Rembrandt, right? I mean, they hire to produce the product that the directors and the producers wanted because they're trying to think what does the public want. Merv Griffin, there are certain people that were good at it and they got paid big fucking money for being good at choosing what people want to see. The reason Marvel is failing is okay, so their thing is superheroes. DC not as much, okay, but superheroes that you are stuck there. Okay, so You're not going to do a love drama, right? If it's not related to superheroes. They've painted themselves into a corner that this is what a superhero movie is. I tried to watch Blue Beetle and I could literally predict very precisely what was going to happen with what character and when after 15 minutes of watching the fucking show. I knew who the heroine was going to be. I mean, I knew everything. The whole flavor, tone of the movie, the comedy, the family part, that was all that saved the movie, to tell you the truth, because the rest of it was all typical superhero shit, doing superhero shit in a very ignorant fucking way, by the way, okay? If they can't even get their superhero shit together, right? I mean, because everyone in the audience is like, well, wait a minute, if you have that power, why didn't you use it then? If you can do that, why didn't you already do that? Why this, the whole audience is constantly asking themselves these questions because they've painted themselves into the fucking superhero area. Iron Man, the first Iron Man. What made that show? Tony Stark. The drama, the human drama, the betrayal, the things that good stories are about, right? But the suit, you see, that's the super part of the superhero movie, Iron Man 1. And it was Tony Stark developing Iron Man 2 in his garage, okay, that got everyone going. And I could tell that people were going to accept that movie because when he takes off in the Iron Man 1 outfit and he flies up through the air, thousands of feet, and he comes crashing down in a ballistic manner at many hundreds of miles an hour, doesn't even get a scratch, stands up and brushes the sand off. See? People accepted it because the premise of the movie wasn't about the suit. It wasn't about the superpower. You know what I mean? After building the Iron Man suit 2, we progressed into the next part of the movie, which was, okay, now we're going to introduce you to the superpowers and the abilities that are now going to make Tony Stark special. Right? He goes, gets his revenge, all kinds of, basically the power sources, the prime characters, the Pepper Potts, everything is kind of set in stone right there. And they could have stopped and never made another Iron Man movie and moved on to something else. And I think if they had done that every time, we wouldn't be seeing tragic numbers for superhero movies. You see, if you go and watch the Marvels, it's really all about the superpowers, isn't it? Would you go watch a movie about Tony Stark's fucking Iron Man suit doing everything without Tony Stark in it? If you just took the superpower and just had Tony Stark's robot suit flying around doing deeds for whoever, right? It would be a stupid movie and would probably fail at the box office. The Marvels, it's about the superpowers. Failure. Blue Beetle, it was about the superpowers. Failure. Right? We can see it happening. The Flash, all about superpowers. Failure. Oh.
Just me.
What's up, baby? How you
I
feeling?
feel so bad. I'm going to bed.
Oh,
I
I'm
keep coughing in
sorry.
my
I
head.
got her sick. She got what I got. It was just a matter of
I
time.
love you, baby.
I love you, sweetie.
I'm going
she,
to bed.
she got my muck. This this tendency they have to instead of the human part of the story being the prime part and then a little bit of superpower. The superpower is the prime reason for even having the movie. I don't care, Spider-Man 1, right? Okay. Gets bit by the spider, has these superpowers, and it's basically more a human story, and they could have stopped right there. Okay? Or I'm not saying that was the only Spider-Man movie that was any good. There are others that are worth consideration, and then there's other Marvel superheroes worth Avatar. You had a gigantic leap in technology and ability, okay, but that's not about fucking superpowers. It's not about superpowers. The guys in robots or the guys using technology, okay, that's their superpower is technology. You see, you can't really put your finger on what is the superpower in Avatar and Avatar 2. What's their superpower? Well, they don't have any. Well, the ocean Navi, they can hold their breath for a long time, but I mean, did I ever mention that my wife's niece was a world record freediver? Annabelle. It's hard to find. It's hard to find things. This is why I prefer reading because I find video entertainment now is so difficult to find quality. When I do, I'll binge on it. I'll watch all of it. You know what I mean? I don't know if Marvel. I don't know. As I'm before this movie even started, I was thinking, is Marvel gone? Is Marvel, have they gone? Have they literally so oversaturated the market for their product that it's over? Video game players can tell you that no matter how much you love playing a video game, that sooner or later you're going to get almost sick when you pick the controller up because you know everything. You know what's going to happen. There's no more mystery. See, and that's exactly where Marvels have come to. You notice that shoot 'em ups have kind of died off real quick, haven't they? Other than John Wick. And I don't know if we'll see another John Wick, maybe, but you can only murder people. Oh, excuse me. You can't murder bad people, okay? But if you can't artistically kill 70, 80 fucking people in a 3-hour time slot, then your movie's going to fail. That's kind of how the studios and the producers look at it, I think. We don't know jack fucking shit, okay, about John Wick, except that, you know, dog, wife, and then anger, kill, death, revenge, kill, 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 kill. That genre, I've noticed, is really, the bottom's fallen out of it. They kind of cycle, don't they? They cycle in and out, the type of movies. Um, If you watch cop shows that are about the people, they'll go on TV, they'll last on TV for years, a show every fucking week. If you had to watch a Marvel superhero movie every week for years, it wouldn't be something you'd enjoy. They're just too predictable. We know exactly what's going to happen. The entire movie is about the superpower. Okay, Black Adam, same thing. All about superpowers. This much about who, what, when, where, and why. Especially the who part and the why part. I used to make the bullet clink videos on the Gamers Getting Played page about how crooks can hit the guardrail on a set of stairs every time. They're so fucking good at it. I mean, the bad guy's running up the stairs and they can literally hit every damn crossbar and handle on that damn set of stairways every time. I'm thinking they must have to fucking practice a lot to be able to do that, huh? As the bad guy goes like this, bam, and shoots a guy right between the fucking eyes over his shoulders as he's leaving. Sitcoms. This is why I tell people read, okay? Sitcoms. They started out, Jackie Gleason, that kind of thing, right, when I was young. Mayberry and Bonanza and what you'd have to call wholesome action. And it degraded into this weird, I don't even know what to call it. This is what I tell people, okay? If you turn off the laugh track and you turn off the music on sitcoms and listen to actually what people are saying, you'll find it just terrifying. That these people have serious problems. Everybody's, they are serious. These people, I mean, you're like, oh my God, I wouldn't even let that person in my house. This person is literally insane. But then you add the laugh track, you add the music, and all of a sudden, it's parody of life. See? When it comes to Marvel superhero movies, there is no switch there like that. There is no switch. If you take away the music on a Marvel movie, and you take away the soundtrack on a Marvel movie, they're just magic, uniform, cape, magic, superpower movies. It's a hard concept to grasp, I know. But superhero movies are headed down that same lane, okay? Where if I can, I mean, sitcoms for me got boring. I mean, as soon as the very second you learn which character does what, you know exactly what they're going to say. It's corny as fuck. It's the same jokes for the last 50 damn years. Nothing changes, okay? 50 years, right? Superheroes. Well, it's superpowers, and that's the difference. And that's why Marvel's failing. If Marvel wants to call me and give me a job to fix their problem, they can. They have my permission. But as long as you're going to make movies that I can sit here and predict every single move, every single move, okay? When it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and who it's going to happen between. As long as that is what your movies are going to be, they will fail at the box office. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fucking $1 million down this shitter because of who's making the decisions? The writers? No. I can tell you it is almost never the writers. It is the producers and the directors that are trying to make a product that they think they can sell to the public. And it's sad. It really is. The shittiest book that I ever read was as good as normal television. I can tell you that. Okay. I'm going to try to finish Loki, but it's, again, it was just too big of a step directly into action. Are they trying to get me hooked? Or, you know, I didn't quite get that. The lack of explanation, because you're like, well, just tell him that. Just tell him about this. And you're screaming in this in your fucking head and it's not happening. And you're like, Jesus Christ, are these people all fucking stupid? I could have explained the situation in 5 fucking seconds before I time slipped, the next time. I could have explained everything clearly, concisely. And you're screaming in your head, just fucking tell him. Nope. We got to have some action first. Couldn't have a car chase. What do we have? A people chase. I'm going to give it a chance. I could be a film critic. I really could. Most of my friends and family have always told me that, because I can pick most movies apart, but then there are movies that have won Oscars, and I can tell you why they won Oscars. I can tell you why movies are good just as easy as I can tell you why movies are bad. Right now, because you can tell this is not the first video I've done about this in the last year, right? If that fresh idea, the fresh idea. Oh, now I'm a blue beetle and instead of a green whatever, right? They might as well call it Beetle Man. No, the blue beetle, the green hornet, right? Mm-hmm. The Avengers. Too late in life, though, to be a movie critic. It's not good for you, I hear mentally. Did you get a lot of bad press? Get your flu shots. Get your COVID shots this year, okay? Especially for my age. Make sure you go get your flu shot and your COVID shot. Because just a chest cold just kicked my fucking ass. I can imagine what the flu would do to me. All right, I feel better now. I got that off my chest. I like science fiction, and I like sci-fi, and I like sci-fi fantasy, as long as they're not mixed together in the same group. I like it. For the first Loki, for me, was all about people. It was about the relationship between Loki and Loki. The play on the fact that she was a female and he was a male, and that how much you still have in common, because believe it or not, for you chauvinistic pigs out there, women are people too. It was about the interaction, a lot of it, and then not knowing. But now that we're in season 2, right from the get-go, it's this over-the-top action or death scenes. I would have liked to have relaxed a little. I haven't quite finished 2, but as I'm getting into the second episode, I can see that they've already toned it down a little bit. Maybe somebody told them. I don't know. They've already toned it down just a little bit, as far as, flash, bang, boom. Plus, anytime you start talking about time, you're asking for trouble. You're just asking for trouble. Of course, it also makes anything possible too, doesn't it? Did you watch Treasure of the Sierra Madre? No? Do it. If you're ever going to go gold mining with me, I make everybody watch that movie first.